surveys under USNS research vessel positioned over RMS Titanic wreck site coordinates, deploying deep ocean mapping systems.
Maintaining position over historical RMS Titanic site. Depth soundings confirm 12,500 feet. Seabed mapping in progress.
Patrol grid Echo 79er, maintaining deep ocean search pattern over historical survey zone. Survey flight Alpha 3, maintaining pattern over RMS Titanic coordinates, depth below 12,000 feet, commencing sonar mapping. Debris field located consistent with RMS Titanic scatter pattern. Beginning documentation sweep of wreck site perimeter.
RMS Titanic wreckage pattern confirms historical accounts. Continuing search for main hull sections.
ROV deployed toward RMS Titanic coordinates, descending to target depth 3,800 meters, sonar mapping seabed topology. Sonar active. Beginning deep sea scan pattern over RMS Titanic coordinates.
Great.
Sonar profile and structural dimensions definitively match RMS Titanic. Wreck condition appears fragmented, but plot survey approach pattern. Contact SUPSALV and historical preservation teams for deep salvage asset coordination. Confirmed identification of RMS Titanic wreck site. Implement historical preservation survey operation. This is Commanding Officer, USNS Research Vessel, priority traffic. We have confirmed positive identification of RMS.
Submersible pilot to deployment station, visual confirmation mission on RMS Titanic wreck, authorized.
Visual survey of RMS Titanic commencing, estimated bottom time 4 hours, primary objective photographic documentation of bow and stern sections for preservation assessment. Installing primary imaging system for RMS Titanic documentation. Camera rated at 15,000.
Where's this sound? Can I ask first or I?
Passing 3,000 feet depth. On course for RMS Titanic coordinates. Visibility decreasing. Switching to external lighting.
Passing 8,000 feet, RMS Titanic wreck site 4,500 feet below current position, all systems nominal. Approaching RMS Titanic debris field, reducing descent rate, visual acquisition expected within 300 feet.
Documenting RMS Titanic bow section. Structure shows advanced deterioration but maintains iconic profile.
Authorized visual confirmation dive to RMS Titanic wreck site, historical documentation protocols in effect.
Understood. Coordinating dive safety and imaging priorities.
Visual documentation mission commencing. Confirm RMS Titanic coordinates uploaded to submersible navigation systems for direct approach to wreck site. Visual documentation mission commencing. Confirm RMS Titanic coordinates uploaded to submersible navigation systems for direct approach to wreck site.
Authorized visual confirmation dive to RMS Titanic wreck site, historical documentation protocols in effect.
Understood. Coordinating dive safety and imaging priorities.
RMS Titanic recovery presents unprecedented challenges. Structure is fragile after 112 years submersion.
Lift bridle system designed for distributed load application on deteriorated ship structures will minimize stress concentration on RMS Titanic hull plating.
Crane load testing for RMS Titanic recovery capability, maximum rated capacity 400 tons distributed lift, testing to 50% load.
Recovery protocols delivery. RMS Titanic salvage operation requires coordination with international maritime preservation authorities and structural engineering specialists.
Mission parameters if authorized. Stabilize RMS Titanic bow section structure. Attach distributed lift system to strongest remaining.
USNS salvage vessel arriving on RMS Titanic wreck site. Deep ocean recovery assets aboard. Commence flotation stabilization systems for RMS Titanic ascent control if recovery authorized. Deploy at mid-depth for buoyancy assistance and orientation stability. If manned operations required on RMS Titanic structure at depth, saturation diving protocols approved for maximum 14-day prep deep ocean lift systems for potential RMS Titanic structural recovery. All equipment rated to 15,000 feet depth.
Visual contact confirmed. RMS Titanic bow section directly ahead. The ship is enormous and immediately recognized.
Triple ROV configuration approaching RMS Titanic debris field outer markers. Maintain visual contact and safe separation distance.
Primary ROV approaching 6,000 meters depth, halfway to RMS Titanic location. All pressure compensated systems operating normally.
Commencing close approach to RMS Titanic bow structure, initiating detailed visual survey and structural assessment for potential recovery operations.
Primary ROV depth 200 meters, descending at 20 meters per minute toward RMS Titanic coordinates, all systems nominal. Primary ROV depth 11,800 meters. RMS Titanic wreckage visible on sonar 700 meters below. Dual ROV configuration passing 1,500 meters. RMS Titanic wreckage 11,000 meters below current position, maintaining formation descent.
Primary work class ROV entering water, beginning descent to RMS Titanic wreck site, target depth 12,500 feet.
Slack the tether. Watch your tension.
RMS Titanic bow section survey underway. Structural documentation in progress for preservation assessment. Primary ROV depth 200 meters, descending at 20 meters per minute toward RMS Titanic coordinates. All systems nominal. Dual ROV configuration passing 1,500 meters. RMS Titanic wreckage 11,000 meters below current position, maintaining formation descent. RMS Titanic forward deck structure shows complete loss of wooden surfaces, underlying steel framework severely corroded.
Identification debris markings on RMS Titanic bow structure, confirming shipyard construction details, treating all surfaces as
RMS Titanic bow section inspection reveals extensive rustical bacterial degradation consuming steel at estimated 400 pounds per day.
Starboard hull survey of RMS Titanic, advancing toward breakpoint where ships separated during sinking. Documenting
photogrammetric survey of RMS Titanic bridge and forward superstructure for structural modeling, capturing dimensional data for engineering analysis.
Hull placing thickness measurements on RMS Titanic hull project.
Our break 20 log Amzamong RMS Tarinel. RMS Sisklaxan, Comprehensive Stux Data Structural Data Date.
Port and starboard RMS Titanic bow excavation proceeding, revealing extent of structural collapse and preservation state of steel construction.
Commencing gentle sediment removal from RMS Titanic forward deck areas, exposing original surfaces for structural assessment while preserving archaeological integrity.
Routing stabilization cables through RMS Titanic original structural openings, utilizing ship's inherent design. Stabilization framework on seafloor, positioning for RMS Titanic structural support installation. Framework will cradle bow. RMS Titanic bow section stabilization complete. Structural support framework installed and verified. Monitoring systems active. Structure protected.
Installing vibration isolation on RMS Titanic support cables. System protects fragile structure from dynamic forces while maintaining static support.
Installing structural monitoring on RMS Titanic framework. Sensors will provide real-time data on stress distribution.
Sensors active and transmitting data. Commencing careful load testing of RMS Titanic stabilization framework, applying 10% of estimated structure weight to verify support integrity.
Final stabilization connections on RMS Titanic bow section. All support points verified and load tested.
Installing primary support beam against RMS Titanic bow section keel structure. Contact padding prevents point loading on corroded steel framework.
RMS Titanic lift rigging 80% complete. All primary attachments secured and verified. Load distribution across structure within engineering specifications. Positioning buoyancy assist bladders on RMS Titanic bow section. Will inflate progressively during ascent, providing all lift cables rigged and ready on RMS Titanic. Currently zero tension. Standing by for authorization.
Surface team standing by. Weather window confirmed.
RMS Titanic bow section fully prepared for potential recovery operation. All systems installed, tested, and verified.
Main lift cable on deck at RMS Titanic site. Commence attachment to structural framework. Connection sequence will take 8 hours with multiple redundant safety links. Primary lift cable for RMS Titanic descending. Rated capacity 800 tons with real-time stress monitoring. ETA seafloor 90 minutes.
Commencing initial lift of RMS Titanic bow section. Taking cable tension to 50 tons. Monitoring all structural sensors for stress indicators.
RMS Titanic is lifting, Bennett.
ROV visual contact maintained on RMS Titanic during ascent. Structure maintaining integrity. Flotation.
RMS Titanic depth 6,000 feet. Flotation bladders inflating on schedule. Ascent rate maintained at 3 meters per.
RMS Titanic bow section passing 3,000 feet depth. Structure stable and intact. All monitoring systems confirm success.
RMS Titanic bow section depth 800 feet. Load increasing as buoyancy changes approach surface.
RMS Titanic section depth 800 feet. Visual acquisition imminent for surface. All vessels main please.
Surface break confirmed. RMS Titanic bow section has returned to surface after 112 years. Structural intent.
RMS Titanic lift tension at 150 tons. Structure responding normally. No indication of failure. Continuing gradual load increase.
Surface recovery team standing by. All vessels positioned over RMS Titanic coordinates. Commence initial cable tensioning. Escort reports RMS Titanic transport proceeding normally. Current position 240 miles from restoration facility. Down slow, 40 feet. Watch support side clearance over cradle supports.
Contact confirmed. RMS Titanic bow section on transport cradle. Continuing weight transfer. Monitoring structural stress and cradle load distribution.
RMS Titanic transport entering restricted preservation facility. Commencing transfer to enclosed restoration dock. Security protocols active.
Applying penetrating rust stabilization to RMS Titanic hull surfaces. Treatment converts iron oxide to stable compounds, preventing further degradation.
Creating complete digital preservation record of RMS Titanic current state, including all biological formation.
Cleaning and preserving RMS Titanic's port bow anchor, one of ship's most iconic recognizable features, will be restored and remounted in original position.
RMS Titanic preservation phase 1 40% complete. Structural assessment finished. Stabilization treatments ongoing.
Commencing comprehensive documentation of RMS Titanic preservation state. All rustical formations and corrosion patterns being recorded before treatment.
RMS Titanic and a comprehensive assessment phase underway. All structural components being evaluated for the preservation treatment. Reconstructing RMS Titanic's distinctive bow railings. One of ship's most recognizable features.
Plot is applying historically accurate paint system to RMS Titanic restored surfaces, colors and finishes.
RM Iterant RO Hands. RMS Titanic bow section reconstruction 85% complete. Structural integrity.
Fabricating replacement structural components for RMS Titanic using original construction specifications.
Manufacturing replacement deck plating and frame members for RMS Titanic reconstruction, using modern steel with period-appropriate dimensions and specifications.
Replacement version RMS Titanic bow written. New components designed to match original 1912 construction while meeting modern structural standards.
RMS Titanic bow section achieving designed waterline and stability. Floating characteristics matching historical calculations.
Conducting load testing on RMS Titanic structural framework, verifying restored and reconstructed components can withstand specified forces without failure.
Complete. Testing confirms RMS Titanic bow section restoration achieved all structural and preservation objectives.
RMS Titanic bow entering test water, monitoring for any leaks or structural issues. Waterline position matching historical specifications from 1912.
Underwater inspection of RMS Titanic hull integrity during water testing. All preservation treatments and reconstruction joints being verified watertight.
Unveiling RMS Titanic bow section. Restored to display condition after unprecedented recovery and preservation operation.
Restored RMS Titanic bow section. showing combination of preserved century-old original fabric and
This preservation honors the 1,500 souls lost in RMS Titanic tragedy, ensuring future generations
Historic preservation ceremony for RMS Titanic bow section. Structure will be transferred to permanent museum installation.
In Clardlones. In memory of the 1,500 passengers and crew lost in the sinking of RMS Titanic, April 15.
Public viewing of restored RMS Titanic begins. Structure will serve educational mission teaching maritime history, engineering achievement, and tragedy lessons to future generations.
RMS Titanic bow section preservation complete. Legendary ship recovered from 12,500 feet depth.
This preservation of RMS Titanic represents unprecedented international cooperation.